Okay, sup you chuckle fucks, it's your boy Dark Art Good here with the what if Mujin Park was in the Eminence of Shadow. In Shadow, not off. In. Why the hell do I keep saying off? Not the point. This is part one of this what if. I don't know why I thought of this, but I'm gonna say fuck it and I'm gonna do it. Do I care? No. Did I just thought of this after kind of remembering, mostly doing the collab one with Dante? Yes. And mostly I'm just going to do this because why the fuck not? If you hate it, you like it, whatever. But other than that, let me begin to this what if and let me shut the fuck up. But this is basically what if Mujin Park was in the Eminence of Shadow, and I don't really have that much time. I was going to do the Trafalgar Law one, the one for mostly Issei. The problem is, I don't have much time, and doing a recap would take a little bit too long, so I said fuck it, so I'm doing this what if instead. If this what if is too short, I might just not upload, but who really cares? But for right now, let me begin this what if. So, we begin into Mujin Park after the defeatment of mostly Morty Jim. Morty Jim defeated him, and this is where Mujin Park was being erased from existence. This is where, mostly, being kind of turned to dust, not being erased, but you get the point. Morty Jim did not pull out the gauntlet of the Infinite God, no. Pretty much, he was just being erased from overusing the power of the Supreme God, another thing. I think that's what happened. Man, I gotta go reread, what's it called, The God of High School. It's a really good, what's it called? It's just that monologue, but not the point. But, not the point. Mostly we go back into this what if. While Mujin Park is being kind of erased, he thinks that he's going to die and go finally to hell, and blah 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 blah. But this is where he wakes up, and this is where, he was confused. What the? Where am I? This isn't my place. This is where, mostly he's confused. He keeps blinking. He has kind of his blackish eyes, his blackish hair. He doesn't have an X on his forehead, but this is where, that's just because he's literally a baby. This is where, or not a baby. Well, he was a baby. And this is where, mostly he's confused. The parents say, "Aw, look at him." This is where, the mother says, "Why isn't he crying?" This is where, Mujin Park says, "Where the fuck am I?" Mujin Park just realized that he's actually a baby and decides to go, wah, wah, wah. Just because he has no other fucking thing to do. When they tried to feed him the milk with the freaking, you get the point, just the milk from bottle. Mujin Park did not want it to. He rather starve to death, but they managed to do it. They managed to force him, but yeah. Mujin Park does remember what happened. In his previous life, in his two previous lives, because one previous life, he was literally considered to be the world government. He was also considered to be the supreme god or whatever. He remembers a bit of all that. But he had another second life and a second chance. This is literally his third fucking chance in another world. Because the second chance, he was in the world with mostly modern humans, no magic, no nothing, no power, no nothing. It was just normal fucking world. Which Mujin Park lived pretty good by beating the shit out of delinquents really easily. Like, every delinquent that tried to pick a fight with him, he kicks the shit out of them pretty easily. Like, ain't no one gonna toss his salad. He's tossing everyone's salad. But he also did kind of go to a kind of interesting school with this, like, interesting popular girl. Not that much. She really wasn't that interesting. Pretty much Mujin Park ignores her, while every other person right now says, "Oh my god, it's Akane, blah 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 blah." There was also another guy that ignored her, which Mujin Park has mad respect. His name was like, something like, he can't really remember, Sid Kagano or something. But he really didn't care too much if his name was Sid Kagano or not. He just had a kind of respect for this person for mostly not simping unlike every other motherfucker in this goddamn school. But of course, he didn't really care. This where, mostly he decides to just keep kind of watching what is going to happen next or whatever. Mostly when he was in his old world, on the second life. Before, he was just walking around, town. And his second life, he was walking around town. And literally some people decide to pull up on him, try to fight him, shoot guns at him. And this is where, guns didn't affect mostly Mujin Park. Because he still has his previous skill for mostly his past life. The supreme god power, he didn't have it fully unlocked, but he didn't really care. He still had the kind of reaction to dodge guns. So of course, when he grabs one of the guy's like hands with the guns, broke that guy's hand and sent a powerful knee into this guy's chin, knocking his shit out. This is where, well, other people tried to attack him. This is where, well, we'll see. They all tried to jump him, but this is where Margin Park did not care about people jumping him. He kicked the shit out of all of them. He beat the shit out of every single one. Now, he did meet a cloaked figure that had kind of a black, kind of like, mostly beanie mask. This is where, well, he kind of had reddish eyes. He kind of looked to have reddish eyes or whatever, or mostly they're black. He can't remember, but this guy wants to pick a fight with Margin Park. Margin Park had pretty much a bat after kind of breaking upon someone's head, which he didn't care too much and just dropped it behind him and just clanged on the ground. Now, this person and him right now sent very powerful attacks. Now, of course, the person with the crowbar, he did have 2 crowbars, which Margin Park grabbed both of them and sent a powerful knee into the person. The person actually blocked the attack and they were both fighting. Now, this is where, well, mostly Margin Park, with all his martial techniques from his past life, he was kind of giving this guy some goddamn work. Because literally this guy thought it was going to be easy to fight him. Because mostly Margin Park was called a delinquent. Another delinquent to school. Or kind of. But this is where, well, Margin Park dodges a kind of swing from the crowbar, sends a powerful kick into mostly the person's side of the stomach, which he managed to dodge. But then they saw like someone getting kidnapped, and other than that, mostly Margin Park didn't really care too much. But this is where, well, the other person seemed to kind of care, but not much. Which mostly he saw the person just run off, and this is where, well, Margin Park decides to go to see what exactly was that. But this is where he noticed one thing, his hand. He had a cross on his hand. He then thinks, can I use it? But before even kind of thinking of anything, he was kind of, well, getting jumped by more people, more criminals. This time these criminals just got their ass kicked. While kind of him accidentally using his borrow power, a bit of energy, and made a cross through someone's chest, killing him in an instant. He was confused in how he did that. He was confused and thinking, what the? How did I? He didn't really have the memories of his past life, but yeah, his mostly first life. But now his second life, he kind of was confused with cross power until a truck appeared out of nowhere, hitting him and killing him. But yeah, so of course he died. But this is where, well, he was fucking confused. Now in his third life, he actually got the memories of his first life and second life. What the fuck? Yeah, he's confused a bit. Well, he doesn't clearly have all his like first memories, his first life memories, and that is kind of a little bit confusing. He doesn't have the power yet of the Supreme God. In this one, he's going to have to work a bit for mostly knowing a bit of the Supreme God's power, but yeah. But this is where, well, he is kind of over here saying, man, I'm basically a baby. We go into a 4-year time skip. Now he's 4 years old, and this is where he says, I basically had to pretend I was weak. Literally, I guess I'm gonna have to pretend to be weak. Then again, it's not that much of a hard task. Who really cares? This is where, well, someone tried to swing a sword upon mostly Mujin, which Mujin managed to dodge, and it's actually his older brother. Mostly, or not older brother, his twin brother. Now, his twin brother has white hair, with mostly looking like this. Let me just. This is how his twin brother kind of looks like a little bit. He has kind of spiky white hair, kind of. It kind of looks like this. He does kind of read a lot of mostly news, or mostly on the church somewhat. He's too much of a God believer, but not the point. So yes, mostly Sengen is actually going to be here, and he is going to be somewhat the twin brother of Mujin. Mujin, while he had black hair, and Sengu kind of having white hair. Now, it doesn't really match up with the colors of mostly both parents' hair color, because truly, their hair color, one is black, when the other one is kind of a darkish brown. But yeah, doesn't make sense, but who really cares? They do check on the DNA test and realize they're actually truly their children. But yeah, it's confusing with one guy white hair and one guy with black hair. And their eyes doesn't match that much, but not the point. That's where, well, mostly they both just think that this probably some kind of rare thing, whatever, mutation. But yeah. But of course, with Mujin and mostly Sengu kind of being here, they really do fight sometimes. Well, a lot. This is where, well, mostly Mujin usually tries to kind of show that he's weak, to kind of make sure that people think that he's not considered to be the strongest, because he wants to kick the shit out of people and make them nothing but feel despair after he beat the shit out of them. But yeah. While mostly Sengu, he really doesn't care about fighting too much, but when people try to piss him off, they're gonna die. Just because of their abilities. Now, Sengoku does have his abilities from his previous life, mostly from the God of High School. That being having to summon swords, the Omega power, and you get the point. Now, Majin has mostly his Char power, and that is literally the Longitis. And no, I'm not talking about the DXD one. I'm talking about literally Longitis. That's his Char power, also known as Borrow power, but not the point. Now, that's why he has usually a cross in his hand. Now, he doesn't have the cross necklace in his, mostly neck. He just kind of is still a child, but yeah, not the point. He does have in his hand, but he won't have mostly cross eyes, similar to that of like Morty when he had them, when he was Supreme God. But this is where, well, he's still pretty good in actually calculating people's attacks most of the time. Even though there's 2 4-year-olds who literally can kick the shit out of basically 18-year-olds, because they're still pretty goddamn skilled. Like, Majin Park may not be at the same level as his previous, mostly first life, and that is with mostly either being in his like world government one or in his Supreme God one, but he's still pretty good because he still kind of has the version of him when he was kind of like fighting against like mostly in Ragnarok. Like it was mostly Majin Park like in Ragnarok, the Ragnar War. Now, he has mostly those kind of skills. Now, he doesn't have the world government one or either the Supreme God one. But not the point. That'll be later on. But for right now, I'm thinking of ending it off here. I know this is short, but God, like I said, I didn't really have that much time when I started thinking about this. But other than that, I might record part 7 of, I am going to record part 7 with, Singular about, what's it called? Mostly, what if we were in the Eminence Shadow. Other than that, I'll be going. Bye, see you, and yeah.